Hello and welcome, all you beautiful and radiant souls. My name is Sapphire, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, whatever time it happens to be, and wherever you are. Well, I hope you're all having an amazing morning, day, or evening, whatever time it happens to be. I would like to speak to you all today about a rather difficult and complex topic. So I'd just like to give you a little forewarning. If you don't feel like hearing about an uncomfortable topic, you can turn away now if you'd like. But I would also like to warn you that I will oversimplify and generalize things. Disclaimer, I am not a mental health professional, nor do I pretend to be. If you are in a crisis or emergency situation, please contact emergency services in your area right away. And if you need help with a persistent mental health issue in your life, please contact a mental health professional. Now, with that out of the way, I would like to talk to you all about today about fear. Putting fear into perspective and ways of coping and dealing with fear and ways of addressing it and how you may hopefully be able to overcome it. Like I said, it's not a pretty emotion, but something we all feel and something that deserves to be talked about and dealt with. Before I get into it, please kindly take a moment to like the video, comment if you feel called, and subscribe and turn on the bell if this content resonates with you and like you would like to see more like it. And even donate if it tickles your fancy. All right, now let's get into it. Be aware of your fears, but don't allow them to control you. Confront it and then move on. Remember, there is no courage without facing your fears. There is likewise no growth without first facing your fears. There is indeed value in fear. Fear showing up in your life is usually just a sign of something that you need to grow through and to overcome. Now, I'm feeling called to speak with you all today about this difficult topic because it is something that most of us will inevitably face in our manifestation journeys and in our lives in general. Speaking for myself, I have a fear or at least a discomfort and nervousness around public speaking, especially face to face with large crowds. I am by nature rather shy, awkward, and introverted person, but I used to be far worse. If I may open up to you all a bit, I feel like my transition has ironically helped me quite a bit in this regards because I've given myself permission to be my true and authentic self from the inside out. I don't feel like I have to hide, and I'm allowing my true self to shine through. I I mean, I positively feel like a social butterfly compared to my former self. But fear and anxiety around public speaking is still present for me. So this is something that I have to face, and I've had to face and will continue to face. But I'm doing the best that I can to overcome, and will continue to work to overcome it. And part of it is simply doing what I'm doing right now, feeling the fear or discomfort and doing it anyway. At least when I'm speaking to you all, I'm really just speaking to a camera. So it takes a lot of that fear factor out of it. But I'd be lying if I didn't still feel those jitters and nerves. Um, oh, sorry, I'd be lying if I didn't feel those jitters and nerves, because I know this will probably be seen by hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Some of you will have very positive and loving and supportive reactions and to what I'm saying, no doubt. But some of you will have very negative reactions, and then there will be everything in between. Um, and it's because of those nerves and jitters, and also a lack of practice or memorization in advance, that I read off of a script usually, like I'm doing right now. I'm hoping to one day get away from reading off of a script, to a point where I just read bullet points and speak off of those bullet points. If I can just speak off the cuff once I glance at those bullet points. And for some future videos I plan on making, I hope to not even need a script at all. Like for card readings or yoga flows, for example, won't even need it. But for now, a script does help me keep me organized and not lose my train of thoughts, especially with these long form motivational or mindfulness type videos. But script or not, over time I am noticing I am feeling more and more comfortable, confident, and at ease, as time progresses. At least for me, facing this fear and repeating the action that which causes fear to rise slowly dulls the impact of the fear over time, and it is a strategy that you can employ to overcome it. Now, another reason I am feeling called to speak with you all about fear today, is that I have and will likely continue to deal with a lot of it lately. Why, you might ask? Because I'm strongly contemplating quitting my current unfulfilling and stressful job when the time is right and enter into a new chapter in my life. I'm actively applying to jobs. I'm sorry. I'm actively applying to jobs that more closely align with my education, experience, and interests and passions. But I also plan to take this YouTube thing to the next level, um, in my free time, and hopefully one day go full time with it. That'd be awesome. So, fear of the unknown is almost screaming at me right now. And so too is the worry over continuing to be able to pay my rent and pay my bills. But still, I persist and move through and move forth, and I continue to tell myself that this will be worth it in the long run. I also tell myself that I'm not happy with where I am now, and I'm living paycheck to paycheck as it is. If I'm going to struggle, I might as well be doing something I enjoy more while I struggle. I also tell myself that this is my life and this is my destiny, my purpose. I've already held back for far too long. I'm tired of holding back. I'm doing this. I've also been pumping myself up with positive and empowering affirmations and encouraging words, and I've been trying my darndest to release negative and limiting beliefs around manifestation and abundance, and shift to a more powerful and positive identity, and a shift away from scarcity mindset and to an abundance mindset. Like I said before, there is no growth without first facing my fears, and so oft as is so often the case, following the guidance from your higher self, your intuition and manifestation, and creating your best life, your highest timeline. It involves facing and overcoming your fears, especially fear of the unknown and fears over abundance and lack thereof. I also feel like this should be said. You should absolutely work on getting over any fears that you may have, however uncomfortable. You should absolutely work on getting over any fears of the truth that you may have, however uncomfortable the truth may be. You can't grow if you don't face the truth. Don't live a lie, live your truth. And a final reason why I feel called to speak with y'all about this heavy topic right now is, well, recent politics and news, especially in the United States. Now, I am so fortunate and lucky and grateful to be living where I live right now in California. But it is certainly a scary time right now in this country, especially for someone of my identity. I have been trying my best to not stay in that energy, but I'd be lying if I say it wasn't there for me oftentimes. Now, I'll get more into how to deal with this kind of fear later in this video, but suffice it to say, politics, especially federal politics, is just one of those things that is almost completely removed from your individual sphere of control. As one person, you can only do so much. As I've stated before in other videos, one thing you can do is to accept what you cannot change nor control, and let it go rather than obsess about it. Now, on that note, I recommend the following. Don't stay in the energy of fear, of course. Be aware of it, feel it, and go forth anyway. But then let it go and release it and raise your vibration and rise above it. Fear, unless it's legitimate fear or a threat towards life or limb, is indeed a low and negative vibration. But that doesn't necessarily mean it should be avoided or ducked away from, right? When you allow fear to paralyze when you allow fear to paralyze you or bring forth that fight or flight response in you, that is when you become a victim to the low vibration of fear. When fear shows up in your life, it is an invitation from Spirit to face it head on, to push through it, and to transmute it for your personal growth. Do not let fear stand between you and what you're meant to experience in life. Face it head on. Face your fear of the unknown and conquer it and rise above it in order to expand your identity. It won't be easy. No one said it would be easy, but it will be worth it. You will literally have to fight against your evolutionary programming for comfort and security, and against fear and discomfort, and going against the grain. One strategy you can employ is that you can learn to laugh. You can learn to laugh in the face of fear. Create some levity around fear. Laugh at it and be grateful for what you have and what you're creating. So often fear, when it's not about simple self-preservation in the face of obvious threat or physical harm, is this small egoic thing that can be shrunk down, mocked, and laughed at. You are so much bigger and more powerful than your fears. Again, be aware of your fears and face them. and face them, but do not allow fear to control or consume you. Feel the fear, but then release it and release it from your energetic field. Step into your own inner power and abundance and go anyway, in spite of any fear, discomfort, or limiting beliefs that you might have. Open up to your intuition, open up to your higher consciousness, open up to your truth, and stop letting fear based consciousness based on past shit keep you stuck. Heal your fear. Heal your fear connected to your past and rise above it in order to expand your horizons. Also, this could almost be its own separate video entirely, but I invite you to work on fearing no evil. Unless your fear is a rational fear, unless it's about self preservation in the face of the threat of obvious physical harm, unless it's legitimate fear of threat towards life or limb, well, there's really no need to fear anything or anyone for that matter. But like I've already mentioned, fear is a feeling. It's a feeling. It's an emotion that isn't rational. It can't necessarily be controlled. Only observed, understood, and faced and overcome. There isn't a whole lot of reasoning with it, right? Only dealing with it. That said, do try to do the best that you can to reason with yourself about the fear, calm yourself down, and overcome those non physically threatening fears. Now, I'm not saying to be reckless or careless, far from it. A big part of dealing with it and avoiding the thing that you fear that might indeed physically cause you physical harm is simply physical situational awareness and removing yourself from situations that are likely to be physically harmful to you if possible. As far as possible, as far as people with malice in their hearts, or malicious governments, as I've mentioned before, there's only so much you can do. As one person, there's only so much you can do about them. But you can still do something. As long as you're not in immediate physical danger, the first thing you can try to do to the best of your ability is to not stay in that energy and to take care of your physical and mental health. Get plenty of sleep, stay hydrated, eat plenty of healthy foods, get exercise, give yourself some quiet no stress time. And give yourself love and care, and give yourself time and permission for self-care, rest, and recuperation. Politics, especially federal politics, is just one of those things that is almost completely removed from your individual sphere of control. As one person, you can only do so much, right? You can only do so much. So another thing that you can do is to accept what you cannot change nor control and let it go rather than obsess about it. Another very important thing that you can do right now is to find strength in numbers. As one person, you're small, but together we are many. We are strong and we are powerful. Unite with others and work together um, to support, uplift, and empower each other, and to create positive change in your community, county, city, state, and ultimately in the country as a whole. Organizing, protesting, and reaching out to other voters in groups are all powerful ways of facing your fears and creating positive change at the same time. If, however, you are part of vulnerable and heavily marginalized or oppressed group, and you persistently feel yourself to be, you persistently feel unsafe, or you, or like you have no rights where you live and don't see any realistic chance of things changing in a positive direction anytime soon where you live. If that happens to be the case, I do strongly urge you to move out, and move to a safe place, if at all possible, and if you can afford to do so. That's not possible for you to do right now. All I can say is either seek the support you need to move, or seek the support that you can garner in your community, and batten down the hatches and get armed if you can. That's tough and heavy, but like, yeah, if that is your day to day reality, I strongly urge you to move out if you can. If you can't, get the support that you need and get the protection that you need. But if you can get out, move to a safe place where you feel supported. Um, and, I'd happily have you in our community here in California. Um, I don't have room for you here, unfortunately, where I live, but, in the broader community in the state, happy to have you, of course. But as for individually malicious people, or groups of malicious people, whether they may be organs of the state, such as police or military groups, or paramilitary groups, or groups of armed or unarmed thugs, or who may indeed mean you grave physical harm to life, limb, or freedom, I have the following points of advice. One, whether it is on social media or in real life, don't feed the trolls. If at all possible, with don't engage with these people that may mean you and your community harm, especially if you're physically vulnerable or isolated. Two, engage in peaceful and non-violent protest only. Violence should only be used as a last and final resort. Let them be the ones to throw the first punch or worse. 3, stay vigilant and maintain situational awareness, and avoid or remove yourself from situations that are likely to be physically harmful to you, especially if you're by yourself. Run away if you have to. Better to be perceived as a coward than to not be alive. 4, again, strength in numbers is key. 5, if all other options are exhausted, fight back. 6, if grave physical harm is about to befall you, or your freedom is about to be stolen, At least try to take some small comfort that you are on the right side of morality, of history, and that karma will eventually catch up with the blockhead or blockheads. And seven, be safe and be protected when you're out in public. Um, if you're in a public setting doing protesting and there might be a lot of filming going on, a lot of police presence, or something like that, wear a mask. Don't be afraid to wear a mask. It's going to keep you and your identity safe. Stay safe, protected, and anonymous. Your safety is of the utmost importance. Now, with all that said, let's now end on a lighter note with some words of positivity and encouragement that you can carry with you in both good times and bad. Replace the negative beliefs and affirmations in your head. Flip them on their head and replace them with positive positive affirmations that say, yes, you can do this. It is possible. Kick the limiting beliefs to the curb, release them. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Worst cases, you'll fail. Even if you fail, you'll learn. But focus on and visualize the best case scenario, not the worst. Release any patterns, habits, fears, or negative beliefs that are blocking you from you achieving your legacy, and that may be stealing your joy and don't serve you. Release them. Allow yourself to receive the success that belongs to you. Don't give in to fear, and don't limit the possibilities for yourself or your future. Especially don't do that to yourself before you've even begun, before you've even really started. Only you can hold yourself back. But conversely, only you can give yourself permission to kill the excuses and begin to take steps into your highest reality. Think big. Go bigger. Hold the vision. Have faith, trust, and patience. Go after your dreams with all your energy and might. You can manifest the life you want. Step into your power and embrace who you are truly meant to be. Speak your new life into existence. Believe in yourself. Believe that your dreams and visions can manifest into reality. Namaste. Take care, everyone.